And you're also on everyone's mood boards, especially like the Gen Zers for the Y2K
Really?
era.
I did not know that either.
Okay.
Wonderful if that is true.
Hello everyone, I am Jillian Superstar with Complex News, and today I am joined by a living legend whose talent and impact has spanned decades. Maya, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I am honored to be in your presence.
Oh my gosh.
You look amazing. I know you hear that so much because I've watched all the interviews, I've seen and heard people say it a million times, but you are everybody's first crush.
Word.
See,
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
You know.
Mm-mm.
Do you you must be aware of the power and influence you hold, and not just on men, like on everyone.
No.
Even when you walked onto the set, I was like, remain calm. Like,
I
you need to act
don't.
right.
Actually, I don't hear it enough, so it's great to hear.
Okay. I know it is the 25th anniversary of Lady Marmalade.
Yes, coming up this year.
What is a standout moment from that music video?
Oh my goodness.
It is so iconic. That's like one of the most iconic music videos of the early 2000s.
Wow. Well, rehearsals, we didn't have much time to learn choreography and get our solo stuff together, plus fittings. It all happened just so fast. I remember having a lot of fun in rehearsals, but it was go time. And so we were there with Janet Jackson's choreographer, Tina Landon. So the pressure was on all of us. And then we were handed props. And they gave me the whip. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? Okay. I thought it was going to go to Little Kim, but I'm like, okay, all right. It was just a lot of fun, but of course, intense.
Yeah.
And then we're performing after the video came out. During the video, I think everyone was quite uncomfortable physically. And we were in corsets that were super tight.
Got it.
Heels that were super high.
Yes.
And, overall uncomfortable attire.
Yeah, beauty is pain.
But the glam department, they were so amazing. And everyone got stapled with an iconic look that we see every Halloween or Pride Month. And it's great.
How much say do you get in the looks that you have for that music video in particular?
It sort of happens as you go. They're creating on the spot, for me anyways. That was my experience. And I was happy with it, yeah.
Yeah, you looked amazing. Everyone did. If there were to be a modern version of Lady Marmalade, who do you think would play, or who do you think would do the song justice? The streets were saying if you redid Lady Marmalade today, they would have Miley Cyrus to fill in as Pink. They would have Doechii or Megan Thee Stallion as Lil Kim.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande for Christina.
Uh-huh.
And then Tyla or Doja Cat for You.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
I love
that?
all of it, honestly.
You think that's a good casting?
It is.
For the remake?
It is.
Is there anyone that you would swap out?
No. There's so many to choose from. I really love that.
Okay.
And I think I've been asked that every few years. So this new picking is based on today. I love that.
Who were the previous people that they've suggested?
It's been a while. Jessie J.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, she's got the pipes.
Tori Kelly. Victoria Monet.
Yes. Okay.
So many.
Yeah.
Cardi was one for the rap. Lizzo, Missy.
Yes.
There's so many. But I think the most current, as far as like new artists go, is the one you just said. And I hadn't even thought about it. That's great.
Those are all really good those are all good options as well. And Missy helped produce the song, right?
Yes, with Rockwilder and Ron Fair.
How is it working with Missy? Are you in awe in the moment? I don't know how many projects you guys have worked together on, but I'm sure you've collabed a lot throughout the years.
Missy is so awesome. Just an amazing performer, artist, songwriter, producer, vocal arranger, singer, rapper. She's an innovator, fashion, creative person. Lots of fun to be around, and her process is so different, from everyone, but she's just full of life every time you see her, and you just want to give her a hug. She's a genius, and she's a G. So shout out to Missy. She was on my very first album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't get to work with her on that album, so Lady Marmalade was actually a really big treat for me because she was there, she was present. And Missy actually wrote My Love Is Like Whoa.
Oh.
She's on the chorus singing, whoa.
What?
Yeah, that's her voice.
So can you walk me through you said she has like an intense process or a very like particular process. What is that like? Like when you guys are in the studio together, what is a typical day like?
Well, no, we've never been in the studio together, except for Lady Marmalade.
I see.
You know, and I was only there, we were actually all there to record our background vocals, and then we did our leads separately. So I haven't actually worked with Missy one-on-one just yet. I would love that to happen one day.
Manifesting?
Yes, but I'm speaking about her process as a creator.
I see.
In every aspect of entertainment and art, she's just a beast. Yeah, and I'm glad that she's received her flowers. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've received your flowers? Like when you look back at your career?
I haven't actually been looking for flowers. I've been looking forward to give the best me, you know, and the best is yet to come. So I give myself flowers all the time, but I don't seek them.
So you don't really care about accolades then?
No, I want to be the best, and I want to give the best, you know? Always give something greater than what I've given prior. And so I'm always moving forward and on to the next thing. And sometimes the world doesn't receive that until 10 years later, 15 years later. It's just a process to put things out and make sure all the mechanics are there prior to the public receiving those things. But yeah, I love music. It's a gift, and I don't really focus on awards or accolades, especially now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an independent artist, and of course, a life has been lived since I first came out as a teenager in the 90s, my gosh. And I'm really, really into art and expressing my truth and whatever that is in this specific chapter when I'm creating. So I love the space that I'm in. Mm-hmm.
Going independent and creating your own label, Planet Nine.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to do that? Especially at the time that you did it, because that was not a popular move.
Nothing made me want to do it. I didn't even want to do it. I was just propelled into that space with an album leak that happened, long story short. But it was the greatest blessing because I love music so much. I found a way. And though I didn't necessarily know what I was doing at the time, at the beginning of 2008, I started very small, very boutique, and it's still a boutique operation. But I started in Japan with my very first independent release in 2008 in one territory. And that allowed me to sort of learn the ropes of financing my own thing, putting my own production team together, drafting my own contracts, publishing split sheets, just all of the mechanics behind the scenes that artists don't really care to do. I still do that stuff today, just to make sure that it's done and that I can dish out my art, you know, on my own timeline. But I've learned it like the back of my hand now, and it's very addictive actually because you get to do what you love to do, and it's protected.
Yeah.
And it's for no other reason than the same reason that you fell in love with music in the first place, but also that fun, pure place when you're just singing in the hallways of your high school, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you would have stayed with like a major label that it would have robbed the joy from making music?
Not necessarily. I think when you're a priority, if you're with a label, and you know, labels go through so many transitions and layoffs and merges, and it's a very unpredictable environment. Being at a label or even working for a label behind the scenes, it happened when it was supposed to happen, and I just trust divine timing that no matter what happens, that I'll always be okay, because I just have a specific mindset of discipline and finding a way to keep joy in my life and to remind myself why I do what I do. But also, it's not just about me, it's about people at the end of the day. And before I was in music, I was a dance teacher. You know, I was in the arts, I was always in entertainment in a different way.
Yeah.
And there's other things to life than just business and mechanics all the time, but I think labels serve their purpose, and I love major labels, but I also love being independent, and there's always a merge of the two that is, you know, the best of both worlds, so I'm not mad at either.
I read that Prince is one of the people that encouraged you to own your masters and go independent. Is that true?
Yes, I'd actually been independent, well, just got announced to be independent when he called, and he's like, great, stay independent. I'm like, well, what is independent? So he spoke life into a lot of artists and promoted ownership, entrepreneurship, especially if there was any type of musicianship or production value or even touring value. If he saw a bit of himself in you, he reached out to say, all right, this person has potential and a potential long career ahead of them. Let me pull them to the side, speak life, even publicly, without the individual conversations. He just really, truly believed in fairness and making sure that artists do their due diligence to become better artists and not leaning on sampling all the time.
Is that a note that he gave you?
Of course. Play an instrument and live below your means. Like, really invest in you, because that's what it's going to take for you to win. But also preserving your happiness and your love for music. So I appreciate those conversations, and there's much more to those conversations, but it's been the voice in the back of my head when things get hard and the waters are tested, Well, remember what Prince said, yeah.
We've talked about you being on absolutely everyone's mood board. When I think of my mood board specifically and what I was inspired by, it is the iconic blue jersey dress.
Oh.
So good. Can you tell me how that outfit came about? I know that it was styled and created by the iconic June Ambrose, who we love and stan.
Yes, ma'am.
Did she just come to you and already have it ready? Is it something that you guys created together? Like, what was the process behind putting that outfit on?
I had absolutely nothing to do with that jersey dress. That was all June. That was actually one of the I would say probably the shortest music video I've ever shot in my entire career.
Interesting.
It was only 6 hours. That was including hair, makeup, wardrobe prep time.
Is that because everything was just so seamless and
it was just simplified?
one take and
maybe not one take, because you have different angles and different aspects, but it was literally a backdrop, and then you have the ocean. One outfit change,
very
I think.
straightforward.
No, maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's it. There were no rehearsals. There was no choreography, dancers, mechanics, lights, and all that stuff. It was just a beautiful day. We had to capture the sunlight within a limited amount of time, and it was a total of 6 hours.
Wow.
And that's it. But June had already had her mastermind at work prior to even getting there. I don't recall any fittings taking place before. The day before, you just show up, everything is ready, right to go. You step in it and you sing your song.
And it was just perfect. Was there backup options? Like, had you not worn
I
the
can't
jersey
remember.
dress, was there something else?
I don't think there was.
It was divine.
She probably had my measurements in advance, and everything worked like that,
And
like
killed
clockwork.
All of your music videos have iconic outfits. We were just talking about the low-rise jeans off camera and how much I love seeing you in those. But is there another outfit that you feel like is underrated, like people slept on? Like, y'all didn't see this fit in this music video?
Well, I love that snake print from The Best of Me, Part 1. It was a very dim video. And I think Chris Robinson shot that. But that was very underrated.
Yes.
I thought it was a very big jump from my first album to hop into that. It's like, young woman. My
Yes.
back was out.
Grown and sexy.
Yeah. I would actually wear that today.
Okay.
At my age today, yeah.
We got to get that back out of the storage.
That was very underrated. Nah, I'm not gonna fit that. Not today. I filled out and I'm not mad at it, but that outfit, I love the color. It's one of my favorite color palettes, like aqua,
Yes.
teal-ish. It reminds me of the ocean. So I love that one.
Speaking of Best of Me, the version with Jay-Z, obviously the most iconic song ever. How did that feature come about?
So I was in the studio with Track Masters, and at the time, Interscope was my label.
Yes.
And I was also signed to University Music Entertainment. And so they would go back and forth and figure out, hey, remixes. That was a big thing back then, right? Who are we gonna put on the remix? What do we want it to sound like? What has she already covered? On my first album, it was already noted that I had covered the South with Silk the Shocker. I had covered R&B with Cisco. So what's next? So we have Jada Kiss on the original.
Right.
And now what are we gonna do? So the very first version, you know, it was more of an introductory single with Jada for the streets. They called it a street single.
Okay.
And then Case of the X came, which was more pop. And then we're like, well, summertime is almost here. So let's turn up the heat a little bit. We need some tempo.
Okay.
And so being that the beat was more classic hip hop, it comes from a Biz Marquee record, actually. Rest in peace. And then Steve Stout, who was also working at Interscope at the time, knew Jay-Z, or maybe they're related. I think back then he said Jay-Z was his cousin. And so they had to connect, and Jay-Z came through with the bars after I'd laid my part with Trackmasters in the studio here in New York.
Were you guys together?
No, I laid my part with Trackmasters. I think it was Hit Factory. And then Jay-Z laid his part separately. Yeah. And then we shot the video.
And made some magic.
And we performed, I think, one time at Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Thinking of all your iconic music videos, I mean, like, Case of an X had me sliding through the sand. My Love Was Like, well, had me tap dancing. Like, which music video is your absolute favorite? Like, hands down, it just has a special place in your heart.
Of my major label catalog or my independent catalog?
Both.
Okay, so we'll just break it into two categories. I would say my favorite video from my major label catalog with Universal Music would probably be All About Me. It was my very first video. I got to design my outfit and see it come to life, yes. I used to sketch a lot of clothing prior to getting my record deal.
So did you design most of your outfits that we saw in the music videos?
Some of them, yes.
Oh, wow.
All About Me being the first, but a lot of stage costumes. And I would see things come to life. My mom's a seamstress. She used to make all of my costumes for my competitions and recitals and all kinds of stuff. So that's my very first memory of like stepping onto the scene and being so proud that I just finished my very first music video. It felt so great. Shared it with all my cousins and played it at my grandmother's house over and over and over again, and we just loved it, right? So that's always going to be my first for that reason. Now, my favorite independent music video would be Damage, 2018 from the TKO album. I worked with a choreographer / director named Galen Hooks, who's amazing at her craft, and that song possesses a lot of vulnerability, but it's just me in the video, and it's so raw, so honest, so real, so gritty. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting sweaty. I'm getting into the trenches and in the gutter with it, but the choreography is beautiful. I actually surprised myself in heels in rehearsals, but also delivering the music video. And I just really, truly enjoy working with her because she knew exactly what she wanted to see and executed it. So shout out to Galen Hooks.
Shout out to Galen.
Yep.
For working with your mom as a seamstress, how was that? Because I think of like when I hear the stories between Beyonce and Miss Tina, how sometimes she's like, child, you're getting on my nerves. You know, like you need to go take a breather, go take a break. Yeah. So was it a similar relationship between you and your mom, like kind of mixing business and you know, personal relationships?
I probably get on my mom's nerves when it comes to accounting. She's my accountant since like 97. Right? Since my very first advance.
Okay.
She sees everything.
Ooh.
What goes out, what comes in. So that's number one. You know, she still does some of the costuming for my shows and tours, but not as heavy as she is on the books.
Okay.
You know, she's the numbers lady and keeps me intact.
And then she's like, you need to slow down on the spending, slow down on the shopping.
I'm a hustler, so she never has to tell me.
Period.
You know, she'll be like, and this is a surprise, because my mom is very frugal. She'd be like, you know, you don't have to do that. You need to get in the gym. You need to be working out. You need to be taking a break. I was like, oh, this is new, because I'll be hustling until I drop. You know what I'm saying? So
She's like, go, work hard, but also play hard.
yeah, she's a very honest woman. So I'm in the gym now.
So really quickly, I want to talk about Whatever Bitch from Mood Ring because I think it's underrated. And you were
keep it short.
introducing Vogue in 2003 before it was a real thing, or before it hit mainstream. So why are you not a fan of that song?
I was not expecting that one. Hilarious.
That's a deep cut that I really like.
Yeah.
How did that song come about?
So I had been going to the clubs and everything during that time. And having a lot of fun. My dancers and I were friends, and I'm living life. And so I wanted to create something for the community that, hey, are a part of my crew and reflect the good times. And why do you go out? You go out to have a good time. So it's nothing like a vibe killer. Talking smack, when you're entering a space. So that's where the song, I think, topic came from, but wanted to make it very, very fun and celebration-like. And so, whatever, bitch. It's like, I don't care what you got to say. I'm going to be here getting my life. Okay.
I like that. It's gangsta. I like that song.
Yeah. And then, of course, with the visuals, we threw it in a couple of performances for television. A label thought I was crazy. I paid for everything. I was like, no, this needs to happen. Y'all don't understand. But the community forever loves me and embraces me for that because I represented at a time where it wasn't so popular.
Yeah.
For the culture. And, I still do it. I still perform during Pride months, and we pull that one out the bag.
Being the icon that you are and the queen of R&B in the 90s, I wanted to know if you had to do a versus, who would you go up against?
Honestly, that is not something that I'm going to answer. That's something for the people to answer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all pair me up.
All right. Let us know in the comments, who do you think would be a good pairing in a versus with Maya? Because I have my picks, but what do y'all think? Okay. You are releasing your next studio album, Retrospect. And it's been 8 years since your last one, correct? So what has been the process creatively over these past 8 years? How do you feel releasing your baby into this world this spring? What can we expect?
Well, for the last 8 years, I've been on tour. Of course, the pandemic happened.
Great.
And I've been releasing a lot of music, just singles here, singles there, collaborations, etc. And this is a body of work that really reflects how and where and when I fell in love with music. So it's the return to the roots of my living room and all of my inspirations that I grew up listening to, watching, from my mom skating to my dad playing and singing, the vinyl, the cassettes, the stuff that you can touch and feel, and the musicality and the good vibes. We're taking it to the backyard barbecues, the block party vibes, the skating rinks, the blue light basements, the red light.
I was like, you're losing me.
Music.
Okay.
But with a contemporary twist. Nice. So it's going to make you feel good, but it's also introspective. So retro vibes, late 70s into 80s.
Oh, so we're going to be dancing.
All the funk.
Yeah,
you're going to have a good time. And
dancing.
smiling. So joy, celebration.
What 70s and 80s influence? What artists influenced you?
Evelyn Champagne King.
Okay.
The Mary Jane Girls.
Absolutely.
Rick James. Tina Marie. Prince. Vanity Six. The list goes on. SOS Band. Gap Band. Yeah.
Will you be going on tour from this album?
I will.
Amazing. And I know the one person that you mentioned that we know is a feature, Joyner Lucas.
Yes.
Okay, I got it, Chad, I got it. And then that's all I know.
That's all I'm going to say.
One more?
You'll get it this month.
This month?
Yes.
Okay, so soon. Okay. And can we also talk about ASAP?
Yes.
Your recent single.
Yes, ASAP is one of those couple skate type of songs. It's very, very vulnerable, but it's also commanding. It's about prompting communication to take place urgently so that you can hopefully preserve a relationship because you think it's worth it. It's worth the conversation when you notice the changes, when you notice the energy shift, and I'm calling action to it. It has a very, very old school vibe to it, but it's still very new with the drums. Shout out to my production partner, Mike Mars, 1500 or Nothing. We really made something really special on this record. It's very infectious too with the chorus. I swear we gotta talk. Baby hit me ASAP, ASAP. You know, we ain't got long if I'm crying like this. So call me, please. We have some things to discuss.
Have you always been that way? Because I feel like when stuff like that happens to me, I've been very avoidant.
No.
Is that something you recently came
In my
to
grown
doing?
Maya era, I do not hold my tongue anymore. So ASAP is a reflective record on where I am now. I believe in honest communication, expression, because if something bothers you, it will fester and it will manifest into something that you don't want, whether it's health or not living in truth.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't have that type of time to waste. Life is too short.
So when people hear this album, what do you want them to take away from it? How do you want them to feel? Obviously, you want them to smile and to dance, but there is a lot of like, you know, taking inventory of self and accountability. And so, yeah, what do you hope that people walk away with when they listen to this album?
This album is very intentional, so I hope that they walk away with themselves, a better understanding of self, because something was addressed, whether it is introspective and emotional or very joyous. Transporting yourself to a time where you felt something, you know, you feel alive, or you feel prompted to go address something that is very important, even if it's you. You know, I have a record that was a single last year called Face to Face.
Yes.
Like
and
that's
I felt, looking
spiritual
at yourself in the
too.
mirror.
You know, we're gonna have fun, but we're also gonna get
deep
into the gut. Yeah, all of that.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the features that you won't tell us, but we'll hear about soon.
Oh, yes.
So make sure you guys keep an eye out for Retrospect, Maya's next album coming out this spring.
Yes.
Date TBD. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much. This is a huge honor.